Gemini.
Hello, Gemini. Happy New Year 2016. And yes, you're probably very excited to see what this year is going to bring to you. And I love to follow the Mars cycle here. And why? Well, it is because that is what gives us our direction. It's our drive, our ambitions, our desires, and whatnot. It's what we act upon. So 2015, you pretty much here had a journey from your 11th house straight through that of the 4th house. That was where your focus was, wanting to expand and put your mark on those areas. Now here at the end of 2015, Mars is working through the 5th house, love and relationships. So you might just come to see how all that energy has been building. It's been sharing. Some of you have found new love, maybe a new soulmate. Those of you in a relationship, well, yes, you have been taking some extra time here to share with them and to be romantic and playful, but also to share more time with your children. This is how 2016 is going to start out for you. Mars still in this area, concluding what you had there late November into December. And so you're starting off on a good note. You're feeling great, Gemini. For those of you who are self-employed, well, some of this focus here is in this area as well. Looking at how you could build it, how you can expand it, how you could become creative. The 5th house is all about creativity. So you wrap it up the best you can on those very first days there of January before the 4th, because then Mars is going to move out of this area and focus now on your day-to-day routine, which is the 6th house. Mars here in this area is going to look at how you can improve, how you can work more efficiently, meaning that you will be focused on looking at how you can organize your workspace, how you can organize or reorganize, should I say, your home so that things will, over time they kind of like pile up and it gets into that rut. So this is where Mars is going to be very energetic so that once everything is in its new place, you are ready to move forward at super speed. It's also a time looking at health. Are you eating right? Are you getting enough nutrients? Are you working out enough? You being here a Gemini, you're always in motion, so I would probably think, yes, you probably are. But also, though, it is now you moving into the 7th house, into relationships. We're looking at the long-term relationships and your partner, your significant other. You're going to have that focus when we get into April 18th. It's moved there so that you can get a glimpse, a feel, a touch of it. It's going to move 8 degrees into this area before it retrogrades, which will be April 18th. It will move back into your 6th house. It's going to remain there to June 30th. So you could say between January and that of June 30th, you're going to see for the most part, your focus is going to be on the 6th house. It's how you help or give service to those people in need around you, to be more supportive. You'll come to see that you're the it person, the go-to person. So this could be your coworkers focusing on you more so in this time period. And it being in Scorpio, well, Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, so it's kind of comfortable here. The 6th house is a Virgo house, so it might tend to become very analytical. Maybe you're deepening into some analytical matters here as well and trying to really get to the bottom of certain things. That's what Scorpio does. Leaves no stone unturned, does it? So this is where you're going to see a long haul. Actually, the first half a year is going to be here in the 6th house. It will touch into that 7th house, but this is where you're really going to be expanding, growing, working. Sometimes it can get antsy depending on what aspects it's going to be receiving, but more on that through our monthly forecast when we're looking more directly at the transits. But yes, once it gets into your 7th house, this is more so July coming into August, focus is going to be on you and your partner. and catching up, I feel, maybe just because you had a workload here these first few months. So it's more like catching up, sharing, interacting. You will come to see that your partner might need more of your attention at this time. And I see that you're loving to give this attention. Mars there in Sagittarius. It wants to be dynamic, it wants to be active. So you'll have a great, great time there, summertime. Mars will then move into shared resources, the eighth house. If you are working as a salesperson, what will become very important to you? And I do know a lot of you Geminis are in the area of sales. Of course, not all of you, but if you're a writer, this will also come in. But see, the thing is, it's all about commissions, royalties. Are you getting enough? Are you getting your fair share? Is this an area that needs to be updated? You will come to see that this is going to be quite point specific once we get in there to late summer. But it's also a time here, Gemini, for you to look at the long-term placement of your funds, not just your monthly income, but how can you grow this area? That's what the eighth house is all about. Looking into maybe investments, excuse me. It may also be looking into retirement funds and so forth. Are you getting enough interest on your placements? That kind of thing. And also a fair balance between you and your partner and your expenses as well. Then we come into the fun part here towards the very end of the year, say October into November. And November, it's going to be looking at wanting to get out and about and travel some. So for those of you who might have been a little too busy throughout summer there, a late vacation could be great. It could really lure you wanting to explore, should I say, other cultures as well. Ninth house is all about getting out and about and meeting new people at faraway places. It's also higher education, something that you love here, Gemini. So some of you might be deepening into some research that you've been probably wanting to get to. This will allow you the time to do so. Some of you who are writers, speakers, that kind of thing, here also you're going to find a rich well of material. And whatever you can accomplish here in this area right now, boy, it's really going to hit home when Mars now, at the very end of the year, is going to move into your 10th house of career. So maybe all of this is just research material that you're going to bring home and have a flying start on your career at the end of the year, and how you're going to be opening up there for 2017. Mars is ambitious. Mars wants what it wants, and so when we have that kind of a drive and a focus, we want to benefit from it at the best possible way. So when we know the areas where it's going to be focusing, well, then we can't do better than that. Now, we do have Mercury retrograde 4 times this year, so if you have your pen and notepad out, maybe you want to jot down these dates so you know when you can start working, reworking, tweaking the areas that we will mention. The first one starts up already January 5th through 25th, 1 degree in Aquarius, which is your 9th house, the area of research, deepening into material. It's you also wanting to grow your consciousness, to cast light on those things that are really important to you as your inner being, your higher consciousness, but also into areas that has to do with what is fair and just. So we always tend to think about retrogrades as like, oh God, here we go. Everything's going to go haywire and get messed up and delays. Sure, we can have miscommunications. And yes, we can have delays. However, though, we never ever want to forget the blessings of retrogrades. Because when we are in direct mode, we are down that super highway here, Gemini, and we're not really always paying attention to details. A lot of them can get lost along the side road, as also could be opportunities that come and go. They're always there, but we don't always reach for them. Under retrogrades, it allows us to slow down enough to look at those past opportunities. Maybe now would be a time to kind of revisit those, implement them, so that when Mercury's direct again, we are more enriched. So pay attention to that. Now, especially here in the ninth house for you, January, it's looking at what might have been missed earlier on. What can you now re-embed into, especially those things if you are looking at your philosophical outlook in life. Maybe it's time to catch up with it again. And so we're reaching for higher consciousness always, higher understanding, deepening our focus on matters that are really important to us in our life, but also preparing for more advancement through career. So we got that as well. Anything of legal matters, well, that is a time to settle those things for those of you who have that ongoing. Now, April 29th through May 23rd, 23 degrees in Taurus. That's your 12th house. That's the second Mercury retrograde of the year. 12th house isn't too bad of a place to have retro going. It's your spiritual self. It's your inner self. So you might just feel that this is a time for you to kind of pull back and look at what's going on with you on the inside. Where's your creativity going? This is a time to dream and envision. That's the Neptunian quality working at its best. So here, if you have been moving a little too quickly, now you will have time to dream up your imagination, bring this together, and then move forward back out into the open areas of your chart. August 31st to 22nd, 29 degrees in Virgo, which is the area of your home and your family. This is a time for you to actually catch up with family members, especially parents if you still have them around. They might just be needing your attention a little bit more at this time. Now, it's also ruling papers, contracts, and so forth. We always like to think about Mercury as the written, verbal communication as well. And if we apply that to this area of home and residence, well, then it might just be finalizing, looking into something there, maybe looking into refinance for your home. For example, it would be a good time to do the research, not initiate, but research it so that after September 22nd would be a great time to do so. Or if you're wanting to sell your home after September 22nd would also be a good time to do so. The last Mercury retrograde is December 19th through January 8th, 2017. 15 degrees here, Gemini, is where it is going to appear, and that's your 8th house for shared resources. You're looking into money and taxes and investments and what is fair. Are you getting enough or not? Having a delayed period here will allow you extended time to actually look into how you can set it up. So we want to be happy for it, but sure, you can come to expect perhaps a little delay if you're awaiting some bonuses there at the end of 2016, which would be an annual payoff. It may not come to you before after the New Year's, but in that case, you should hear news about it. So you might just want to at least keep that in mind in the back burner. Now, January 8th, we have Jupiter retrograding. Now, Jupiter for you is the 4th house, Gemini, and the 4th house is home, family matters, and your property. And this is going to retrograde until May 10th. So it's not really a time for you to sell your house. If you're thinking about selling, we just talked about here too, when Mercury was retrograde in this area, which wouldn't be a time to sell either. That is August 31st to September 22nd. But then again, also here, January 8th to May 10th is neither a good time to sell and put on the market. And of course, normally we like to think that the market is good in April and May because it is springtime. It really presents itself well. But we're not too late into spring to have that done. If you just wait to after May 10th, this would be an excellent time. So between May 10th, August 31st, great time to do so, to change things up. A lot of you Geminis, I'm seeing how you're feeling you'd like more space. This is Jupiter, and Jupiter is a big body, so it wants to expand your living area. So many of you will come to see that if you didn't make the move in 2015. They're from summer throughout autumn into the end of the year. I believe some of you did, at least those early Geminis. The rest of you are going to come to see that is really going to be calling you here as we move into 2016. So, that's all fabulous. And I'm really excited also to see what the Horoscopes are going to bring for you for the coming year. So we will be having that up and running here pretty soon. But for now, meanwhile, you might want to go listen to see what's up for your partner in the new year. And also, you can also check that moon and rising sign, as we always mention. That gives you exactly insights also to where that Jupiter is going to be working elsewhere in your chart, right? And those retrogrades. It's always a blessing to know where the energies are at so we can extract the best from them. But hey, listen, Gemini, I wish you a fabulous 2016, and I will see you soon to see what more so the month-to-month planets will be giving you.